I got a riddle for you. What has two tires, 75 horsepower, floats, and is painted white? It's a boat. Yep. This one happens to be mine, or rather it was my dad's. Last two weeks ago, we went and picked it up. I'm really excited, in case you couldn't see. And so today, figured I'd get out here, take the cover off of it, and see what we got to work with, eh? I like that idea. Putting on this boat cover was a problem, painful experience in and of itself, because of these old yucky plants over here. And, you know, I got into a fight with a few of them. I lost. A couple, 30 minutes later, my arm still hurt from where they had stabbed me. They are vicious. Just don't associate with them. Got stuck. Yeah, give it to me. Yep, here she is. Force Marine. 75 horses of pure power and fury. No, I don't think so. Let's see if we can jump in here. I was glad when I bought the cover that I spent the extra $0.00 and got the hood prop. That came in handy, kept the water off of it. But, oh, that's a hole in the floor. Don't look there, just, it's fine. Yep. This boat smells just like I remember it. I'm not sure what it smells like, but it smells like a boat. The compartments smell worse than I remember. And the engine, just turning over with the starter, sounds just like what I remember it sounding like. So that's good. At least something survived. But unfortunately, what did not survive was the paint. If you splash some water on it, see that? If you splash some water on it, you get that pretty, like this right here, you get that pretty shiny, flaky metal flake. Get that shiny metal flake color. You come over here, when I splashed this, it literally made white powder come down. It means the coat, the whole gel coat on this thing is just so sun-baked, it's not even funny. But looks aside, well, I was gonna say something redeeming about it, but I don't think there is much redeeming. Anyway, I think it's cool anyway. But yeah, like you can see down here where it's more protected from the sun, that metal flake color, versus right here, it's just kind of chalky and not. So I've been walking around here a little while and I got to looking. Off the water since 2015. That's a long time. That's 7 years ago. And I think I remember the last time it was out we had Ranger with us, and generally on a ship, the poop deck is in the back, right above a cabin on the back of a ship. But Ranger said no to naval tradition and turned that right there into the poop deck because he had to poop, and he pooped on the deck. So we rode back to the marina with a pile of dog poop on the deck. But aside from that, the fishing rod holder that my dad installed 758 years ago, it's not good anymore. I can just, it's not doing anything. It's dead. The steering is locked up solid. I can't get the motor to turn. Throttle works, choke works, kind of. This has no hinge, so it just flops around when you try to pull it up. The carpet over there is growing hair, so I think that's factory. And I guess I can say something good about it. The engine turns over. It's not locked up. That's good. It's got a new impeller on it, on the water pumper later thingy. And I think it would just crank up and fire, but I've got to find a gallon drum or something that I can put in the back end so it'll get water and not explode. But let's take a look around, see what we got. Let's say prepare for the smell. We've got a gear lube pump. Might use that. We've got the captain's chair thingy on the front. We've got the cover for the packaging for the boat cover. Got a paddle that's red. Come on out of there. Paddle that's red and looks like it's got a chip in it. Someone got into a fight with a grizzly bear. Got another paddle that's not red, which looks bee's knees, recyclable. Hey, made in USA. I like that. That's good. Anchor. Okay, that's that. An anchor that's permanently stuck in there. A mirror. How do you get it out? Let me ask you that. Okay. Yep, that's a mirror that's supposed to sit on the windshield or something. I have a picture of my dad using it. Well, you got the marker light for the front. You've got, ooh, I didn't know this was in here. That just saved me a lot of time. That right there, you put on the engine, you hook a hose up to it, and it'll pump water through the engine. We've got a spool of rope. That's good. Tie something up with that later. Hang a deer from a tree. Full quart of 2-stroke oil, which is, in these days market, that's amazing. We got an old starter motor. I don't know why or where it came from. Ow! I don't know why it came from or where it came from. That's good. We've got a Coulson running through the woods. Fire extinguisher that's bad, hadn't been used since 1997. A free flathead screw. That's not a flathead. What is that? Phillips head. Free Phillips head screwdriver. Bathroom shower drain from 1987. A whistle. I think I can blow that. Call my dogs home. Some kind of varmint nest. An anchor. I'm still not sure how to get out. That's the lighting pole for the back. Gear lube. 80 weight. And more gear lube. 80 weight. And mold. Some fishing lures. And the original carpet that's not black and held in by wood screws. Good. I like that. That's a haul now. that was painful. This is kind of a two-handed job. Get off of there. Huh. Yep. Yeah. There you go. 3 cylinders of madness. Okay, that's a hole. Now, I would act like I know what I'm talking about and say what all this is, but I don't know. So no, that's the carburetor. No, fuel goes in, air goes in, mixes, boom. That's some kind of ignition sparkle lightning thing. I don't even know what that does. Fuel pump? Question mark. This one must say fuse, so it must be a fuse. That's the thing that goes around. Spinny. Oil filter? Question mark. Then right there's the outlet for the water. Starter solenoid, starter, and valve cover. Sure. Whatever it is, it's solid. I went ahead and put all that other stuff up so we could see what we're doing. This cover, I don't think there's anything in there. Hello? Except more carpet. Some wires, I guess, to the fish finder. Ow! I left that out because if we're going to fire it up later, we need that. The live well, the carpet's pulled up on it. There's a wasp nest and some drains, and I should probably close that before I get stung. There's a can of Advil right here, but it didn't have Advil in it. It had fuses in it. Don't take that for your back pain. More fuses. Piece of wood that can just vacate. This right here is a cooler of some sort. It's empty. Underneath the engine here is the gas tank. I can't get to it because the engine's still the way that it is. Right here, there's the nuts and bolts for the battery and the hinge that doesn't work. And that's down in there where the battery sits. You can actually put 2 on this thing and run a 24-volt system, which is way more power than I'm used to. But all in all, we got this thing a pretty good little rig. That was by far the most interesting drawer, but yeah, that was a little tour around this thing, and maybe the next time you see it, it'll be fired up. Now, since the first part of this video I just showed you around it, I've done approximately nothing. A mix of time constraints, laziness, and procrastination. Thank you, friends, for driving by. But today we're going to change that. What I want to do is take this gas tank out. I bought some fuel line from the old Bass Pro Shop, and we're going to install that and see what we can do with this thing. Maybe by the end of the day we'll get it to make some noise. How about that? I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but the neighbors back here, they think this is a competition. Last time I filmed a video, that wasn't there. They made that purchase. I don't know. I meant to talk to the guy about it, but it's I haven't really been down here except to get to the fire extinguisher, and I hadn't seen him. I saw them pull in, but I wasn't in the mood to talk to them that day. But what we're after here is this fuel line, and there should be one that comes back. Maybe this doesn't have a return. I don't know. Anyway, This is old line. That's what it went into. I'll show you the new kit that I have. Mercury decided, that's the people that make that engine and boat setup. Mercury has these fancy snancy quick disconnect connectors, I guess, so you can swap out your motor when you blow it up or tear the bottom unit off, doing 55 when 3 feet of water. And something's got a hold to me here. The gas tank's up under here. I remember always stopping. Goodness, I have to get some water. Hold on. Okay, I was so rudely interrupted. Now, I remember, well, look, I forgot to bring the battery down here. Well, maybe we won't need it till later. Always stopping to fill that up, as you do, before you go on the lake. I'm not sure why I said that, but looks like we got probably fuel out. This is either a vent hose or something. Excuse me, or something. Well, that burp tasted like gasoline. I'd prefer not to disclose why. That's fill. I'm not sure what this does, other than a vent. That's your sending unit that goes to the dashboard, tell you how much gas you got. And you see the entire thing is filthy. I don't even know what kind of fiberglass, dirt dauber. I don't know what happened there. And it's just big enough to pull out of there. It's gonna be a trick though. So that's step 1 today. Step 2, get this fuel line and that fuel line and some stuff off of the engine. Freshen up a little bit. Because all these lines are dry rotted and they could probably work, but it'd be wiser just to replace them. That starter didn't want to work when we first tried it. It was just, instead of, what it's supposed to do is kick up and get into this flywheel and spin it. But it would just turn around in circles. See how that's supposed to go up? Well, it would just sit there and spin instead of kicking up, which was weird. And then about the 4th or 5th time I hit the key, it popped up and went. It's got a really unique sound. You'll hear it whenever I fire it up, but hey, if it works, right? I approve the use of a zip tie instead of a hose clamp on this fuel or water outlet. That's an Alex Thompson thing right there. Also, the JB welded propeller. There's just things like that redneck shade tree mechanic tree that's gonna have to be fixed before we get out on the water. But it'll be a good project. Everything seems like I have a lot of those going around. I gotta find my screwdriver and then we'll get back to work. I wonder if I got that tube out of my way first. Would that be easier? Oh goodness. How about this tube? Okay, that's not bad. How about you? I already hear gas sloshing around in there. Yep. I would say get the blowtorch, but this is the gas tank. Got to remember that. How about in, out, in, out? Okay. I'm already breathing hard and I hadn't even started. Sometimes the fight just isn't worth it. And since I was kind of planning on replacing that tube anyway, I just went ahead and cut that off of there. Okay, so 2 out of the 3 met their death by knife. So I just didn't have the patience to fight them, or really the want to fight them. You know, I'll replace it anyway, is what I keep saying. I don't know why that's so big. It's like really thick. Just ignore it. There's a ground wire for the fuel tank. Of course, that's got to be a bolt that I can't take off by hand. Come on. Yeah. It's got a tag on it. That's going to be cool. I wonder what it says. Probably just danger, do not attempt to service, not use serviceable parts inside. Here, what do you say? It's not going to tell me. Okay. I'll read it later. Alright. Now you're going to see me struggle to take this thing out of here. Oh my goodness, it's got gas in it. Should I... I've got a little hand squeezy thing. Should I try to siphon this out or just fight it? Well, let's fight it first, and when that doesn't work, I'll siphon it. How about that? Now that pipe's in the way. Oh, wait, that ain't gonna come out of there no how. You have to stand this thing up on its side. Okay. Then I guess I'll siphon it. Okay, so I've got a gas can that's too small. The glove box fell open while I was running down the road, and I've got that little hand primer thing. So let's see what I can do here. This line is so kinked up after being sitting in its box. I have no control over where it's going. So, I might try to get a wrench and take that fitting out, or take this sending unit out. That's probably what I'm going to do because it looks easier. One of these things that just spilled everywhere. Thank you, Aunt Lee. I'm using them. Maybe. No, I'm not using them. Well, no. That may work. Just for you, I'll try it. Oh, maybe that doesn't have to come out. Aha. Come on out of there. Welcome to the Pumping Podcast. I'm your host. I feel it. Something's happening. Tricked you. I thought I felt it. Evidently not. Oh, you want to know why? There's a giant arrow that points the other way. You know, glad I caught that on camera. There, that was the tweak. I had to twist it a little bit. It's making like some weird noises, but I guess that's okay. It is now many days later, and I've just now gotten back to working on this boat. Last time you saw it, I was trying to get the gas tank out, and at last I did. Trey's dad, grandfather, came down here, helped me pull the, well, it helped me pull it out. Found about 1.5 gallons of bad gas in there, and just put that to the side. You don't need that. Pulled it out, cleaned it up, looks a lot better now. Put all new fuel lines in. This right here goes all the way, does a loop-de-loop, goes into the engine. New fuel line there. This is original-ish. But that's just the inlet for the gasoline inlet, where you put the gas in there and it lets it in. what I'm about to do, I got the Kubota there, a little side by side. I'm gonna hook this thing up, take it down in front of that shed, back it in there, hook it up to water. These little holes right there, there's an impeller in there, and it sucks in water, pumps it all the way up, cools the engine, and then shoots it out the back. And at Walmart, they have these little earmuff things. What hose goes in there, this clamps around those fins, and you just, you know, you get water without being in the water. Some people just take a trash can and put the end of the engine down in there, and that works too, but that's the way I'm doing it. So I'm gonna try to get the trailer to do the trailer thing. That air in the tire is a little lacking, but it's okay, we're not going anywhere. Tighten the spark plugs, because that's important. You don't want them to go and go off into the woods. They look good. I mean, they're not bad, is what I'm saying. This one is a little carbony. It's kind of wet, but it's not bad. Second one's a little more carbony. And the first one is pretty clean. I went and picked up 3 new ones from the Advanced Auto. Oh, and apparently I was a learning demonstration because one of the employees there didn't know what a marine plug looked like. So the guy that was checking me out just kind of said, "Hey, have you ever seen this?" And he said, "No, I hadn't ever seen that." But so without further ado, I'm gonna get this thing to on there, crank it up, drive, pull it back, back it up, and we'll see. We'll come back to you down there. Boop. Mission accomplished. First try, might I add, just to brag a little bit. Came from down there, hooked it around, backed it in. Got a hose run somewhere around there. Go find that. I forgot to mention, I need to replace this fuel filter. It's held on by zip ties. That's an Alex Thompson thing, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, we're ready. Alright. It's daytime still. That's good. I have been productive. I put a little bit of oil in all the cylinders. Let that trickle down in there and hopefully lubricate everything so I don't just burn something up on startup. Put about a gallon of gas in there. Torque the spark plugs down to 40 yeehaws. Added about 10 horsepower with these green and blue zip ties because I ran out of clamps. So zip ties it is. That alien looking computer 9 million thing kind of scares me, but I find it best just not to look at it. I'm going to trim the motor down a little bit, turn the water on, squeeze on this bulb for about 10 minutes, and then what that does, primes the fuel system. The little pump-a-lators right here, and that feeds it down to the carburetor, which you have to get fuel to that point before the pump can pick it up. And do all that. I got everything fastened down in here. Alright boys, good news. Fuel made it here. Water kicking. And we're gonna see what's going on. Make sure that's still hooked up. Yep. Fell off on me earlier. Choke. Engaged. Here we go. See what's the starter doing there? What that's supposed to do is it's supposed to kick up, but it's not wanting to. Round deux. That battery has 12.3 volts. That one has 12.2 volts. So in theory, this should not make a difference. Well, there's only one way to find out. Well, that's weird. It's almost like a battery that's 10 years old doesn't have the same kick as a new one does. Alright, time for the water. Alright, contact. Why is it doing that? Well, 28 days later, the cavalry just left. Ended up hooking 2 batteries in series. I got the battery from the truck on the hill, and also the battery from the truck on the hill. Hooked in series, going up to the carburetor, going up to the starter. And now, it does what it should. Now we're trying to find starting fluid. Now, it is at this juncture that I have deemed it necessary to interject this story. See, I didn't film the first startup of the boat because we were having trouble with it and I didn't know if it was going to start or not. So, I get down there and right where the video sends, I say, the cavalry has just left. Okay, that's Papa. That's my grandfather. And he goes and he's going to find some starting fluid. And I'm sitting there in the boat and I'm like, well, I guess while he's gone I can clean up my Klondike bar wrappers and things that I put my tools back into the tool bag and just clean up a little bit. And I get to looking and I'm looking at this key and it says push key for choke. So what can that mean? Because I had assumed that that lever was choke. That's fast idle. Choke was you push the key in and it trips a solenoid and does some kind of magic. It shoots more gas into the engine and you got choke. So I sit there in that captain's chair and I push the key in and I turn the key and it blows smoke out the back and I'm like, what in the world? Huh. I wonder what that means. Well, what you like at that? You gotta push the key in for choke. There you go, boys. Pretty mean sounding 3-cylinder, don't you think? Yep, it runs pretty good. I don't know, there's still a little bit of a low speed hiccup. It doesn't want to sit there and idle very good. It did the last time I fired it up, but it's just going to take a little bit of tuning, and it might just take a little bit of running to do that, to loosen everything up and get it working again like it should. But I will say I've enjoyed this revival of the boat, and it smells just like I remember it. The starter sounds just like I remember it, and it runs and it sounds just like I remember it. Very cool, and I'm glad to have it here. I'm filming right now in January. I want to get it finished, ready for the water this winter. That way I can take it down to the river this summer if I am so inclined. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.